Five Nights at Wario's Return to the Factory was released to Game Jolt on October 28th, 2020, and it's amazing. The game is a sequel to Return to the Factory made by Jeb Yoshi. Now, Jeb Yoshi isn't a new player in the FNAF fan games subgenre, as he's made multiple fan games in the past, like Five Nights at Yoshi's, and then he remade it last year. The original game was done with Scratch, same with the sequel, so recently he's remade the game and I hope it does it to the sequel too. But I'm getting off topic, back to Wario. The game's subtitle, The McCroy House, hints at the fact that the game takes place in the same area as the Five Nights at Wario's 3 location, which was the McCroy Mansion. Return to the Factory 2 takes a lot of plays out of Five Nights at Wario's 3's playbook, and at some point to its fault. But before we get onto the gripes with the game, let's talk about the good things, such as the aesthetic. The game has a very strong Five Nights at Wario aesthetic, to the point when the first game came out I thought WWW Wario made a new entry in the series, and with the second game it's just as good as the first in terms of looking like a product of WW Wario. But notice how I said just of terms of looking like a product of him. But now I'm going to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is very similar and dissimilar from Five Nights at Wario's 3. It has the same structure, you go into a different room every night basically, but besides some story-specific rooms like the cellar and the main entrance and a couple of others, every room in Return to the Factory 2 is unique to the game. Now, one of my favorite FNAF fan games of all time is Five Nights at Wario's 3, because of how unique it is. It throws every usual convention of a FNAF fan game right out into FNAF fan game purgatory, along with games like Five Nights at Tattletale and Bendy. In fact, if it had a different night and time structure, I wouldn't consider it a FNAF fan game at all. And the same rings true for Return to the Factory 2. Because I love Five Nights at Wario's 3 so much, by proxy, I must love Return to the Factory 2, right? Well, mostly yes, but in some cases no. But now's a good time to talk about the gripes with the game. The game has a problem with having its own identity. Sure, the point of the Return to the Factory series is to be a reimagining of sorts of the Five Nights at Wario's games, but a reimagining doesn't have to have the same story but with a different surrounding area. Almost every call in Return to the Factory 2 is a paraphrased version of the calls from Five Nights at Wario's 3.
Hello? You there? Oh, thank goodness. You had me really worried. Why? Let me introduce myself. My name is Max Peterson, and I've been at Safety Security for a few years by now. But that's not important. Listen up, because whatever you do, you need to get out of there. I know you were told to watch the house over the week because the family went on vacation, but whoever told that to you, I'm sure they were trying to make you fall for a ruse. Listen, there's been reports of that house being very haunted. And despite what that man said, nobody's been living there for years.
Hello? Oh, thank God. You're in the house, right? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Max. I'm one of the employees at your new job, but that's not important right now. What is important is for you to get out of there. I know someone hired you to watch over the house tonight because the family who is living there is on vacation, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know who told you that this house needed some sort of protection, but I'm pretty sure it was a prankster. You need to get out of there. That house you're in is apparently extremely haunted, and according to some files I have here, nobody has been living there for years.
Overall, the game is great. My main and really only gripe with it is that it lacks its own identity as a great FNAF fan game, and it feels way too similar to Five Nights at Wario's 3, especially with the phone calls. I would rate it about an 8 out of 10. I really hope Jeb Yoshi continues the Return to the Factory series, as the game has a high level of quality, and I would love to play one when it comes out. But what I'm even more interested in is 5 Shows at Wario's, another entry in the official Five Nights at Wario's series. By the way, if you guys want me to cover the first Return to the Factory or any other FNAF fan game in the future, let me know, comment down below. But until then, thank you so much for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.